I
Okay,
agree.
well, let's move on to our last topic, which is about COVID and just this idea of the quarantine life that we're all experiencing, and probably some of us for the very first time. I think I've never experienced anything like this. And so I know, like, Olivia and I had kind of talked, and because we haven't known anyone personally that's kind of gone through it or been around that. I know Olivia had been telling me about something that happened, and that was kind of maybe a wake up call, like to both of us, just how serious this was. So maybe Olivia, can you share that?
Yeah. So I work for the state of Oregon, and in our building specifically, there's 4 floors, and so I believe the division that was impacted was our building codes division, and they, someone did test positive, and so they did have to close out that particular floor and have someone come in and deep clean, and just realizing that it's in the same building. It's not quite our floor. I'm on the second floor, but just kind of seeing the different things that the state is putting into place to ensure that our safety, and that the employee safety in general is being a priority. um, it, it's very close to home now, right? Like, I go into work. I'm working from home most of the days, but last week I went in one day just because I needed to get away from being inside with my kids because I couldn't really get work done. But you see that the tape is being put in place with every 6 feet, and it's literally everywhere. They have garbages by the door, so when you open it, you can drop your napkin in there. So we're taking every precaution we possibly can to make sure that no one gets sick. And so I think we just have to remember that we're very privileged, I guess, in a sense that we um get to come home and spend time with our kids, and really kind of just looking at it from a different perspective. And I know that some of us are impacted a lot more than others, but realizing that it's better to be alive than dead. And so really staying home and trying to quarantine yourself from the rest of the world, and just really spending time with family.
Absolutely. And I think now is a really good time to kind of segue into what we talked about, like the idea of loneliness and isolation. I know one of my, someone on Facebook had posted about that concept of being alone and feeling isolated because, having to stay inside. I think in the US, right, we have so much freedom of being able to go wherever we want to, doing a lot of things, and, that freedom of speech. And so that just that idea of being free. So I think a lot of people having to come inside and not being able to see their friends, their families, go over to their neighbors, just hang out. I think that's really hard for some people. And so one of the things that this particular friend had talked about was reframing the situation. And so seeing this chance as an opportunity. And so I'm curious to just kind of hear what the both of you guys think about that idea of reframing this pandemic into an opportunity.
Well, um, I guess for me, the way I see it is that yes, this is a pandemic, and a lot of people are freaking out about this situation. But we just have to have a positive mindset and realize that this will pass. And so, um, just having that positive outlook and realizing that panicking in this situation isn't really going to help us help us at all. And so it's just better to be able to control what we can
Yeah.
in our environment.
Yeah. And I love that you say that because, I think he's absolutely right. I think we do have to rephrase it a little bit, because if you look at the situation at hand right now, there's a lot of things that are happening that, people are dying, people are getting infected. But then if you also look at like all the positive things that are coming out of it, right? Like, I've been seeing videos of one of our friend, he's been doing some TikTok videos with his little girl, and it's just so awesome to see that. And I keep showing it to my kids. I'm like, you want to do that? That's so cool. But they're so shy. That's not what they're into. They like looking at the videos, but they don't like recording them. But, I just love the relationships that are being built between dad and daughter, or, just family members in general. Right. And I've also seen posts about, spreading joy and gifting people, and it just random people. Right. So I love seeing that. I've been seeing a couple of health challenges out there as well, where people are either doing push-ups or pull-ups or whatever it may be, and calling out some of their friends. And so I think we can look at this and think of the positive things that are happening as well. Like, we're learning to engage um, virtually, right? Like, we're so used to being around people and being social, but what does social really mean? Let's rephrase that. Let's think about what that actually means. And, talk about loneliness. I think a part of that is feeling excluded. And so we want to make sure that we include everybody. And how do you do that in a time like this? It's through social media. That's kind of the thing right now. So I think by talking about it, by spending time with your family, by sharing all of the things that you're doing, I think we're all trying to engage and interact somehow. And so I would just encourage people to continue to do that and see the positive in it. Reach out to people that you haven't talked to in a long time. It's a great, you have all the time in the world right now, right? So you can,
yeah. So like, I mean, I've seen there's like this, so someone added me into this karaoke, and I think I don't know if it's specifically coronavirus related, but I just love that. And like, even the like beer tag and shot tag, right? And like seeing people like post up like video chatting all their friends, like we've done that, right? Just like got on video just to see each other. And I think that is super, super important. One of the other things I wanted to touch on is like having that daily structure. And so for me, like earlier this week, I was definitely feeling down and just realizing that like I don't have a lot of things to look forward to because I can't plan anything, right? And so like, what are you guys doing to kind of still create some kind of structure so it doesn't just feel, because I'm not one to be able to just like, roll out of bed and then like do work and then roll back into bed. I kind of feel like I need to like wake up, like put a little bit of makeup on, do my hair, like get dressed. And so I'm curious what you two are doing to kind of keep that sanity and that structure in your life.
Food.
I think for me, it's same thing. Like, I'm making sure that every day I'm getting up, getting dressed, putting my makeup on, and fixing my hair up, because I mean that kind of sets the tone for the day, if it's going to be productive or unproductive. And so that's really important to me, and that's what I'm doing, in addition to just like my regular normal routines, making breakfast for the girls, and just doing work.
Oh my gosh, y'all! Like I don't have no damn structure. It has been so tough. I'm not gonna lie. It has been so tough working from home. My kids are driving me insane, right? The good thing is I know it's so bad that we, like throw electronics at the kids and say, okay, go at it, so then I can work. But at the same time, it's like you're home, they're home, and you do want to spend some time with them. But it's just so hard when they're home. So I haven't really been able to get anything done. But nonetheless, it's still it's been fun. I mean, I've been home with my little guy, and he's just been amazing. So I've just been enjoying his time and trying to get anything done. Everyone, who the heck do we have?
Hey!